So hello, everyone. My name is Tammy Mooring. I'm with the Center for Interactive Learning and Collaboration, and I'm so excited you're able to join us for our Community of Learning event on May 29th, 2024 with Ocean Wise. We are excited to have you be with us, as I said. And as a reminder, we're in a webinar setting, so I won't be able to hear and see you, and neither will Ocean Wise, but we want to know your questions. We want to know if you have any answers throughout our program today. So at the bottom of your screen, if you're on a desktop, is the little chat icon. If you're on a mobile device, you may have to tap that thing, such as a cell phone, and double check if there's the chat open, but have that up and ready to go so that we can see all your questions and answers. And hopefully it doesn't happen, but if there's any technology issues, throw those in the chat too, and I will be here to help you out at any time with that. Also, as a reminder, students, the chat is currently open up for everyone to chat with everyone in the group and Ocean Wise, but we want to make sure that our questions and answers are on the topic of the program, just to make sure that we can answer everyone's questions and get to all of those answers too. If it's filled up with anything else, sometimes we lose those valuable questions, and we don't want that to happen. So we just ask that you use some really great webinar etiquette, which I know you all have the ability to do so. At this time, I'm going to, however, stop talking because it's not fun. I will throw some links into the chat throughout our program to Ocean Wise programs on CILC, also to their website, and also to upcoming CILC events. But this time, I'm going to hand it on over to Ocean Wise for their amazing program today. You are more than welcome to take it away.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Robin. I am an educator here with Ocean Wise. So today we're going to be solving a mystery on the reef. So hopefully you guys will be able to help me out with this and should be a good time. So I'm going to share my screen here very shortly. All right, I'll get this started. Okay. Can we all see this?
I was going to say, Robin, it looks absolutely great. I can see all of the different areas and the colors that you have up on the map.
Amazing. Love that. All right, my friends. So I am presenting today from Vancouver, Canada, and we are on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations, who have lived on this land and cared for it since time immemorial. So today as well, I just wanted to make a statement. May is Asian Pacific Heritage Month. So today we're going to be touching a little bit on the relationship between the Indigenous Asian Pacific peoples all around the world and how they use the reefs for their benefit. So Ocean Wise is a nonprofit ocean conservation association. And what we do is we are working to fight climate change, ocean pollution, and overfishing to help our ocean. So the ways that we do that, first and foremost, are with you, our youth. You guys are the most important. Your education and your spreading the word and your future work is what is going to get us to the future that we all want and deserve. So Ocean Wise, we are doing work with whales. We're working with ocean plastic, with fisheries, and with deforestation as well. So today we are going to be solving a mystery on the reef. We'll look for some clues and see what we can figure out. So here we are on a lovely reef. We have our mangrove trees there. Mangroves are so important for the ocean. They are there to help hold islands down. They're very good for erosion, making sure that the land stays nice and solid. And they provide really wonderful shelter for lots and lots of baby sharks, fish, and other crustaceans and mollusks. So as I was saying, May is Asian Pacific Heritage Month, and we can celebrate by doing things to help protect our coral reefs around the world. So, Indigenous Asian Pacific Islanders have been living on, relying on, and caring for our coral reefs for thousands of years, and they continue to do so. So, these coral reefs provide food, they provide tools and shelters land and beach from storms and heavy surf. So, not only is it helping to feed and support these people, it's also helping to preserve their land so that they're able to live on it for longer. So the indigenous roots of Asian Pacific heritage is full of traditional knowledge surrounding the reef, knowledge that is still necessary today, especially in the fight against climate change. So today, over 300 million people rely on coral reefs every day for food, work, and cultural significance. So we want to make sure that we're really taking care of our ocean. There are numbers of ways we can do that, and we're going to talk about some of those today as well. So let's see what our friends have to say about this mystery that we need to solve on our reef.
Hello there. Welcome. Hello there. Welcome to my home, the Coral Reef. The water here is warm and salty. I'd love to show you around. Follow me. This right here is a coral. Our reef home is built on its skeleton. I have a question. Do you think corals are plants or animals? Why don't you take a closer look?
So let's see what our corals look like up close. So you guys can all see this. I want you to throw in the chat and see, what do you think? Does this look more like an animal to you, or does it look more like a plant? I need to figure out how to get the chat up here. Okay.
Robin, are you able to see that chat?
Yeah, I got lots of animal here. Excellent. Love to see that. Okay. So let's find out what our coral might be.
So what do you think? Is coral a plant or an animal? Coral is an animal. It eats, grows, and poops just like you do. There is a lot to see in the coral reef. It's beautiful and full of life. I was just on my way to meet some of my friends. Come on, I'll introduce you to some of them.
All right. What a fantastic reef. We can see it's full of life. We have lots and lots of different kinds of fish, and many of them all swimming around.
We're here. Let me introduce you to all of my buddies who live in the coral reef with me. There's something wrong. It looks like algae has taken over the coral reef. We have to find my friends to figure out what's happening. Maybe they have some clues.
Hey, you're back, and you brought new friends. Welcome to our reef.
Hey, friends, I did. They came to check out the reef, but something seems off. What happened while I was away?
Well, it seems as though the superhero of the reef has gone missing. Since they've been gone, algae has begun taking over the reef. Some of our fish friends have begun to leave, and the coral reef is falling apart because of it.
Oh no, that's terrible. We have to do something about this. My friends need help. Do you think you could help us and bring the superhero of the reef back and save our home?
Do you think we should help him? You can pop it in the chat. You want to help our turtle friend. All right. Love it. I think we should help him too. Okay.
Great! Let's go back to the reef and collect some clues by talking to our friends.
Okay. Oh, no. Hold on. Ah. It jumped. Gonna quickly get our PowerPoint back to where it needs to go. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose it. All right, my apologies here. Okay, we'll share this again. Okay. What's happening? All right, so let's see who we should speak to. Can everyone see the screen? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
You're good, Robin. They are able to see it just great.
Okay. I'm going to pause it very quickly because mine is not able to see. My PowerPoint is being funny. So my apologies. Thank you guys so much for your patience.
No worries. I know we have some friends that are already saying all the different things they want to talk to.
Oh,
you'll
wonderful.
see suggestions that came in. One of them, the suggestions was the parrotfish. They would want to, and someone else said a grouper. So we have a couple that answers in the chat for what they wanted to speak to.
I love it. All right.
And a couple of them say they can't decide. They just don't know. And I understand it is a little bit hard to figure that out.
It is.
We got a couple also for the cleaner fish too.
Excellent. Okay. Parrot, I don't know. All right, so we have a couple parrot fishes. So we can start with our parrotfish and see what it has to say.
I am a queen parrotfish. I enjoy eating algae that grows on top of and inside of certain corals. I have a super strong beak that helps me crunch through hard corals.
All right. So we can see this beak here, which doesn't quite look like a bird's beak, but we can see it looks quite sharp. So I have a video for you guys, and we're gonna have to listen extra carefully because we do have some bubbles in the background from our diver, but we have a parrotfish here and it's having a snack. And if we listen really carefully, we'll be able to hear our parrotfish crunching away on that coral as it tries to get the algae. All right, was anyone able to hear that? I know sometimes it's difficult to hear. You got, yes, awesome. Fantastic. So our parrotfish like to eat the algae, but when they're trying to get the algae, they often will also crunch, crunch, crunch up a lot of coral in the process. So we're going to see kind of what happens with that coral. And fun fact, these fish are very attracted to bright colors. So if you're in an area and you like to paint your toenails, you want to make sure that your toenails aren't brightly colored because these parrotfish will come and nibble on your toes. And I've heard it does not feel nice. Let's see what else our parrotfish has to say.
What do you think the sand on the reef is from?
Okay, so in the chat, what do we think sand is from that's on the reef? What could it be? I've got poop. Let's see if it's poop. You guys
My
are
poop.
smart.
I can create 1,000 pounds of poop in a single year. That's the weight of a baby grand piano.
So 1,000 pounds of poop in 1 year. And this is not a very big fish. We just got to see her. That's a lot of poop.
I'll give you a clue about the superhero of the reef if you can complete my poop challenge.
All right.
Which one is my poop?
Let's see. So if you think you know which number is parrotfish poop, you can throw it in the chat. 1, 2, 3. A lot of 3s, a lot of 2s. Let's see, is it 2 or is it 3? It's 3. So 3 looks like a big pile of sand. And that is our parrotfish poop. You're correct. 4 is rabbit or deer poop.
Correct. Here is my clue. The super.
Oh, sorry. No. Okay. To pause share. So our superhero of the reef has lots of teeth. Okay. So I think we've got time for another animal to speak to. So what should our second animal be today? What do we think? The grouper, 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 grouper. All right. So let's see what our grouper has to say.
Howdy, I am a grouper. I can grow be 8 feet long and weigh up to 800 pounds.
That's a lot. So here we have a video of a grouper fish exploring a shipwreck. So let's see. So here we have our grouper coming out of a door. So that is a very, very large fish.
To get my clue, you have to complete the size challenge. Can you help me put my friends in order from smallest to largest?
All right, I think we can do this. Okay, so in the chat, who is our smallest friend? Who would be our smallest friend? Excellent. The shrimp. What about our second smallest? Perfect. The damselfish. And who would be number 3, third smallest? The parrotfish, yeah, the blue one. And our fourth smallest? Perfect, the turtle. And that leaves our grouper as the largest. So our grouper is a fish that's even bigger than a sea turtle. That's a really big fish.
Great job, folks. Here is my clue. The superhero of the reef has a triangle shape on its back.
It's got a triangle shape. So I want to think about lots of teeth and a triangle shape on its back. Okay. So I think we've got, move on to our other clues. So we don't have enough time to speak to some other animals, but we can go over our clues and see where we're at.
Great job working together and collecting clues. Here is all the data we have on the superhero.
All right, so these are all of our clues. Our friend swims side to side. It has rough skin, lots of teeth, has a triangle on its back, and 7 senses. Let's see. Put in the chat if you guys think you know what our superhero could be. So who is our superhero? Yeah, I see lots of shark. You guys are smart. You're on top of it. Let's see. It's a shark. Good job, you guys. So the superhero of the reef is our shark. Sharks are fantastic creatures. They're so important for our oceans. And unfortunately, they have a bad reputation. So sharks are known for being scary, but sharks are really just curious creatures. They're highly misunderstood. So we are going to look at why they're misunderstood and why they're so curious. So here we have our reef sharks and their remora fish friends. So those are little sucker fish that help to clean off sharks and other animals. So these sharks, they love to live on the reef. They're so important for the reef. They are going to help keep the number of fish at just the right level to make sure that our coral reef ecosystem works smoothly. They're very important for the balance of our ecosystems. So sharks, they don't have hands like we do. And with our hands, we like to explore our world. We like to pick things up. We like to touch things, right? So when sharks don't have hands, they're going to use something else. They're going to use their faces. Sharks have highly sensitive faces. And just like our fingertips, they're going to use their faces to explore the world around them. Now, when we have a big shark face next to us, it's a little bit unnerving, but we can see these lines here, and these lines that go around its face and then all the way down its body that we call the lateral line. Those are highly sensitive portions of our shark's body. And what they're able to do is pick up electrical impulses. And what that means is they essentially can hear your nervous system going from your brain and telling the rest of your body what to do. So they can actually feel that in the animals around them. So around their face and all of these little spots, we have what we call ampullae di Lorenzini. And these are just small little pores that are filled with almost a gel-like substance. And that gel just helps them to pick up on those nervous systems a lot easier. So it makes them even more sensitive than they already would be. So that's why we see sharks like this, where they're really close to the sand, because what they're doing is they're looking for animals that are hiding underneath the sand because they can feel what's happening in the bodies of those animals underneath. So it's a really cool kind of trick that they can use just with their bodies. So in our coral reef ecosystem, we of course have a food web or a food chain. So we're going to take a look at some of our food web here in the coral reef to look at why we really need these sharks. So at the bottom of our food web, we have some algae here represented by those green balls. And that's what our parrotfish is eating, which of course we got to experience today. And our damselfish as well. So a lot of the littler fish that we find on the ocean are going to be eating the algae that grows on the outside of our corals. And we don't really want this kind of algae on our corals. So these fish are helping to keep our corals nice and healthy. Our grouper, or our larger fish, are going to be preying on the smaller fish. So they are going to ensure that the numbers of the smaller fish are not getting out of hand to where there's not enough food for all of them. But what about the grouper? Who's going to keep him intact? That's going to be our shark. So our shark is going to prey on the larger fish so that the larger fish don't eat too many of our smaller fish and cause an algal overgrowth. So let's see what would happen if we decided to get rid of all the sharks. So now we've gotten rid of our sharks. And we have our small fish eating our algae, and then our larger fish eating our smaller fish. But what if our larger fish accidentally eat way too many small fish, and then there's not enough to eat the algae? Well, we'd have way too many groupers and other large fish, and we'd have way too much algae. So this is what an out of balance coral reef ecosystem might look like. So we can see we don't have too many animals in the area, and we don't have too many different animals. And we also have a lot of algae that's growing over our coral and essentially taking that oxygen and those nutrients away from our coral. But if we have a healthy reef system with our sharks, then we can have the balance that we need in order for our coral reefs to be able to function properly. So we can see in this photo, when we do have our sharks, we have so many more animals in the area, many different kinds of animals, and we can see that our corals are nice and clean and healthy. They don't have too much algae growing over them, so they're able to get the nutrients that they need to survive. It does need a good variety, exactly. So what can we do to help? There are so many things that we can do to help. And if you guys have other ideas than are right here on the screen, please feel free to throw it in the chat how we can help the ocean just in our everyday lives. So one of the ways we can help the ocean in our everyday lives is to choose sustainable seafood. So if you are someone who does eat seafood, looking for our OceanWise logo lets you know that we recommend a certain kind of seafood because we've studied to see, are there enough fish to be able to actually handle being caught and sold? So that lets you know that it's something that would be a safer choice for our oceans. Another way we can help our ocean and the rest of our planet is by buying local. when we buy local, we don't have to export or import items from other countries. So it cuts down on that travel. And then, of course, the most important thing we can do is to tell our friends, family, anyone around us about protecting the ocean and the different steps we can take. Be that cleaning up your shorefront, so going to the beach and picking up garbage. I see and hear encouraging people to recycle and use less plastic. Absolutely, that is an amazing thing that we can do. So instead of saying, am I going to choose plastic cutlery today, or am I going to choose metal cutlery? Choosing other materials is a really great way to cut down on plastic. Yeah. So excellent.
Thank you so much for bringing me back to my home. You can be a superhero yourself by keeping the garbage out and sharks in.
All right. So if you guys are at home and you want to take our ocean animal quiz, or you have a teacher with you who can take a capture of this QR code, then you can take our animal quiz and find out what animal you might be. And of course, this presentation brought to you by the Waves of Change programming here at OceanWise. So that brings us to the end of our presentation here. Of course, I'm more than happy to take as many questions as you guys have in the allotted time that we have. We have about, let's see, 8 more minutes. We can take some questions.
Sounds great, Robin. While you are answering any questions that come in, I'm going to go ahead and throw in 3 links into the chat again. The first one is going to be to our up and coming community of learning events. Check them out. Also, a direct link to all the amazing programs that OceanWise has on the CILC website. I encourage you all to book a program directly with them and go in depth on a variety of subjects related to our ocean and how you can help out. Well, I'm also going to include a link to the OceanWise website, and you can check up with them and learn more about all the different things they do, including distance learning. But there's so much more out there that you can help out with them too. So I'm going to throw those links into the chat, and you can go ahead and ask Robin any questions if you have them.
Right. And thank you very much for doing that today, Tammy. Okay. Do we have any questions? Do sharks have any predators? They do. So sharks have, well, we're a major predator of sharks. Unfortunately, we kill around 100 million sharks every single year. But sharks' natural predators are orca whales or killer whales. So killer whales really, really like to eat the shark liver. And oftentimes when they kill a shark, they will actually only eat the liver and they will leave the rest of it. How much does a parrotfish weigh? That's a great question. So parrotfish aren't too heavy. And depending on the species, they can definitely range in size. No. So they can, oh, wow. I did not know they could weigh this much. So apparently they can weigh around 20 kilograms or up to 45 pounds. So I've never seen a parrotfish that large. The ones that I've seen were probably around 12 pounds. So you can get some pretty big parrotfish. I also love the octopus. So octopuses, actually, we just discovered a new species of octopus in the deep, deep ocean. It doesn't have a name yet. The one that they're calling it the Dorado octopus. And we found an entire nursery. So big group of these octopuses taking care of their eggs. So when octopuses lay their eggs, what they'll do is they'll stay with them for about 3 months for their entire time. And they don't eat during that entire time. They just sit there and they make sure that their eggs are developing very, very well. So it's very odd to see octopuses in big groups because oftentimes octopuses won't hang out together, and when they do meet up with another octopus, they will either mate or fight or do both. So seeing them in really big groups is something that biologists have never really seen before. So it's really exciting.
Robin, do they think they're like grouped together because they're in the deep ocean? Like that could be one of the reasons why they're that like clumped together for the first time?
So
Or,
that's one of them, but we have many, many different species of octopus in the deep, deep depths that don't share this kind of behavior.
hmm. Cool. Love that.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Sounds like that's cool. I agree. That is a pretty cool thing. I will have to tell my daughter that she loves knowing those weird little ocean facts.
Oh yeah, they're great. Oh,
Squids
squids
are
are
your
also
second.
really cool. I think my favorite of the cephalopods, though, is the cuttlefish.
That one is cool. Can't go wrong with that.
Cool.
Well, I think we covered all of the questions. So I just want to say thank you, students. Thank you, Robin, for an amazing program today. You had amazing answers. You led us through the program with everything. We were able to solve the mystery. And thank you all so much. Definitely remember to check out those amazing links in the chat for finding out more about Ocean Wise and booking a program directly with them on CILC. We hope you do. Otherwise, thank you all very much and have a great rest of the day. We'll see you at another upcoming event, or we hopefully will see you at the next an event with Ocean Wise very, very soon.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Robin. Have a great day.
You too.